6 to win, 4 for a super over.
G'day and welcome to the GameDay Squad Aus Cricket Fantasy Show. I'm Dill, that's Stu, and we are the Fantasy Bros. However, we have a special guest joining us from now on. He is the newest member of the Fantasy Bros squad. Welcome, mate. You are joining us for the Aus Cricket season. Look, we've partnered with GameDay Squad to bring you all you need to know to succeed in this season's Aus Cricket competition. Stu, what can our viewers expect from us this season?
Yeah, g'day, Dill, and g'day, Haz. Great to have you on board, mate. Dill, it's that time of the year again. Rugby league season is well and truly done. The American sports are heating up, but our attention turns to what we love most during the summer, and that's the Australian cricket season. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be previewing all 8 teams by letting viewers know who are the ins and outs, the likely 11s for round 1, and the must-have players across all 3 main positions. We'll preview who we think are going to be the young guns, who to fade, and the MVP across all of those teams. I also think there's going to be a pretty exciting pack opening competition where our viewers, like always, can win some pretty awesome prizes. So if you want to get your hands on some excellent Aus Cricket cards this season, make sure you like and subscribe to the Fantasy Bros across all social media platforms. Just type in @FantasyBrosAU. That'll be on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And you can also listen to the audio across Spotify and Apple.
Yes, 100%. You do not want to miss out this summer. Talking about summer, we have a brand new promo code for you to be able to get 3 3-player common packs, and that code is SUMMER. Type that in when you sign up for the first time, and brand new users, you will get plenty of cards to start your Game Day Squad journey. Remember, it is a dynasty platform, so you do get to keep all your cards. Before we get into the show, though, Haz, mate, welcome to the team. We obviously saw a little bit of you earlier in the year with rugby league, but officially, you're now part of the Fantasy Bros squad.
Thanks, boys. Stoked to be here. It was good to jump on the show at the start of the year in rugby league and, have that quick introduction with Pity as well. And, I'm definitely pumped to be joining the Fantasy Bros crew for the upcoming BBL season. Been watching from the sidelines for a while, so it's good to finally jump in and be a part of the team. Can't believe that, once again, like Stu said, BBL season's finally upon us, and it's already summer. I honestly can't believe it. Keen to start breaking down some squads and have a look at some point of difference picks and throwing some left field calls along the way for everyone. And I've got a feeling I might have one in our first episode today for everyone already. But we've got plenty to get through. I can't wait to have a chat about some of the players I've got my eye on. But Stu, couldn't notice, mate, before you seem to left the AFL off the list of sports that have finished. Any particular reason, mate, or is that just rugby league bias there through and through?
Yeah, mate. Well, look, now that the Fantasy Bros have expanded to cover the Aussie rules as well, Phil and I will need to start being a bit more inclusive, hey?
Yeah, you got to include Pity and I somewhere. It can't be all about you two.
Definitely, and as Stu mentioned, the boys are joining us next year for the Aussie Rules season as well. They'll be hosting their own live show, so keep an eye out for that. The Fantasy Bros are rolling. But look, mate, it is time. Let's get into the first team preview. And Haz, mate, you're the newbie here, so why don't you kick us off with the ins and outs for the first team that we're focusing on?
Perfect, too easy. So the first team we're going to be previewing this year is the Adelaide Strikers. They're coming off a tough season last year, finishing on the bottom of the ladder with just 3 wins and obviously those 7 losses. So expectations are going to be high for a massive turnaround this year. Head coach Tim Payne and the Strikers management clearly worked hard in the off-season with their recruiting to strengthen their squad. So some key ins this year, they've brought in Jason Sanger and Mackenzie Harvey from the Thunder and the Renegades to help solidify that middle order and potentially even the top of the order as well. On the flip side, though, they've lost some batting depth and some squad depth. Brendan Doggett heads to the Renegades, and Jake Weatherald has moved to the defending champions, the Hurricanes. So taking a bit out of both their bowling and batting lineups. The uncontracted list is also a bit eye-catching this year for them. Big names like Darcy Short, Ollie Pope, along with Liam Haskett, Harry Menenti, and James Baisley won't be pulling on a Strikers uniform this year. So make sure you're not selecting any of those players in your fantasy teams. And of course, we can't forget the internationals. Hassan Ali and Luke Wood join the Strikers this season, while the ever-reliable Jamie Overton returns after another massive campaign last year.
Yeah, unreal. And look, talking about squads, we're going to jump into the likely 11 for round one, but it's a really good point to note that pretty much all of the international players this season, bar a couple, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, are going to be around for the whole season, which is an awesome addition. And obviously, we're going to have some news around the ones that are missing out selection in those first couple of rounds. But let's jump into the likely 11 for round one. Look, this is just based on what we think that the team is shaping up like, as well as that availability based on test duties as well. So look, opening the batting there, we've got Matt Short. Obviously, he is the GOAT of Big Bash cricket. But joining him, as you said, that new man in Mac Harvey. Chris Lynn coming in at 3, Jason Sanger at 4. Rossi coming in, the sweepologist, at 5. And then their wicketkeeper, Harry Nielsen, finding a spot there before we jump into the bowling lineup of Jamie Overton, who should have a massive role again this season. Henry Thornton, Hassan Ali, as you said, partnering Luke Wood as their internationals. And then Lloydie Pope, the man himself, will be rounding out that 11. That's who we think are going to be playing in that round one, but keep an eye out for all of the latest team news. We've obviously had some big things happen over the last couple of days, and I believe I saw a tweet before as well. The Sydney Sixers are poised to sign someone else tomorrow, so something big in the works there. Alrighty, as we said at the top of the show. Oh, sorry, Stu.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I just thought I'd jump in. There's obviously going to be a lot of changes between now and when the comp kicks off. So here's a timely reminder to jump onto the GameDay Squad Discord as well. Dill and I, Haz and Pity are in there, and we'll do as much as we can to upload some of those squad news, the big signings, and maybe those people that are withdrawn through injury or maybe because their country isn't letting them, like we've seen in the past. So yeah, jump on that GameDay Squad Discord if you're not already there, and you'll get plenty of info there in addition to these team previews.
Yeah, unreal. Alrighty, as we said at the top of the show, we are going to preview our must-haves, where Stu, Haz, and I will select one batter, one bowler, and one all-rounder each that you simply must have in your lineup. So a perfect opportunity. If you haven't got them yet, jump over to the marketplace and have a look at that if they are available. Stu, you are up first, mate. Who have you got as the must-have bat from the Strikers?
Yeah, look, at 35 years of age and couple of hamstrings hanging on by a thread. Chrissy Lynn, look, he's still a short form specialist. He's going to have to shoulder a big load at the top of that striker innings once again this season. He'll either open or probably come in at number 3, where he scores extremely well when that field is up inside the circle. He loves taking advantage of those power play overs. So look, if the Strikers are to build on that season from last year where they finish at the bottom, he needs to face as many of those balls in those top 4 overs. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him open, but they might just say, look, Mac Harvey, maybe even Sanger, get in there, have a swing, go for gold. But just knowing that we've got Matty Short and Chrissy Lynn still there as well, who are obviously going to pile up on plenty of runs for that team. But look, he averaged just shy of 50 GDS points last season, which was pretty good, actually. It was the 6th best highest average for all batsmen, and that was after a pretty slow start to the tournament. He did hit scores of 88, 49, and 47 with the stick to finish the tournament, and he also reminded fans just how dynamic he can be, smashing 108 of 50 in the Vitality Blast semi-final for Hampshire last month over there in England. So he loves that square boundary in Adelaide. It's a shorter oval than the Gabba. Maybe that's why he moved to the Strikers away from our beloved Heat. But look, he's not going to be as consistent with the bat as someone like Matty Short, so you'll need to pick and choose when you play him. But look, I'll tell you what, there's not many batter to watch when he gets going.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And talking about that, one of the big things that we always discuss is the venues that they're playing at. And look, let's have a little bit of a tease now. We've got the Big Bash 15 textbook coming out very soon, which has all of the info around venue rankings as well. So make sure you get a hold of that very soon. Haz, mate, you're up with the bowlers. Who have you gone with the must-have bowler from the Strikers?
Now, I mentioned earlier, I think I got a bit of a left field pick to start us off for the first show in. And I think nearly everyone would probably go, oh, yeah, Henry Thornton would be the pick for the Strikers bowler. But I think I really like Luke Wood this year, the English international, coming back to the BBL this year after last appearing in BBL 12 when playing for the Melbourne Stars. In that campaign, he was one of the standout bowlers. He played all 14 games and took 20 wickets. That also included an impressive 5-wicket haul, showing his ability to score big points. His pace and ability to swing the ball make him a genuine threat with both the new and old ball, but it's likely his role in the death overs that really adds that appeal. Bowling at the end off, as we know, brings about plenty of wicket-taking opportunities. And with the strikers often relying on their pace attack to finish strongly, I think Wood shapes as a very attractive and high upside option this season.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, he's got that opportunity, potentially leading the strikers bowling attack with Brendan Doggett.
Your boys own any Luke Wood cards?
No Luke Wood card here from me, unfortunately.
No, me neither, unfortunately.
But I have heard a little something that some all-star packs might be dropping very soon, and I'll be getting my hands around those, and hopefully I can pack a couple of Woods. Alrighty, I got the lucky draw of all-rounder, and obviously the first all-rounder that you think of when you think of the strikers is Matt Short, but I'm going to leave that for a little bit later. Instead, I've gone with Jamie Overton, who you did say is the ever-reliable, and I think that's a good way to sum up Jamie Overton. He obviously comes back for another season in Big Bash cricket with the Adelaide Strikers, and that's off the back of his massive performance last season. He's an absolute must-have, I think. He finished the 2024-25 season with an average of 62.6 GDS points. That saw him ranked third overall for all-rounders, just behind his teammate Matt Short, and then the big show Glenn Maxwell as well. So massive effort there from Jamie Overton. I think he's the epitome of a three-dimensional player, and by that I mean that he contributes with both bat and ball, and then he also has a crack in the field as well. Last season we saw he averaged 30.1 with the ball in hand, and then also 26.4 with bat in hand, and then he added an average of 6 GDS points from the field with his catches or his run-outs. So I think there's plenty of opportunity where he's going to have that high floor, and then you're looking for a really high ceiling as well from him. The thing I love about him is he's had a tidy season or preseason coming into the Big Bash. He's had 3 T20 games against Ireland and then the ODI series against NZ. And the T20 format, he bowled 10 overs in those 3 matches and he took 4 wickets, but he only had 4 runs with the bat across 1 innings. But it was his impressive outing against NZ a couple of weeks ago that really should excite coaches. He scored 156 runs across 3 innings, striking at over 100 across all 3 combined matches. So he added a couple of wickets there as well as some fielding stats. So I think the Pommy all-round for me is someone that you've got to get into your squads if you haven't already.
He will not be leaving mine all season long.
Get your cards now. Remember that you can go to the marketplace and you can have a go at trading or purchasing, selling as well. Alrighty, let's jump across to our young guns, our fades, and our MVPs. So we've changed it up a little bit this season and had a look at a few different options. And I think that the big one for me is the fade. But we're going to kick it off with the young gun. And for me, the young gun is a player I don't have access to yet, and that's Liam Scott. And I think he just could be in for a massive breakout season. He's a 24-year-old all-rounder, and he featured 5 times last season where he averaged 33.5 GDS points. And look, he was given the ball for 9 overs of bowling across his 4 games. And in that, he took 2 wickets. He also added 20 runs in that time. However, the 5th match for me was where he showed probably his true potential and where I would love to see him sort of in that striker's role is coming out at 4. He blasted 67 runs off 43 balls, and that included 4 4s and 5 6s. He fell just short of a GDS ton, scoring 97 points in that game. So, look, I would love to see that happen. The problem is obviously the striker starting 11 looks pretty good with the bowling depth that they have. They've got the 5 bowling options, but I would say that Liam Scott's going to find it quite hard to break through. But if he does, I wouldn't be surprised if back end of the season he might become a staple of that middle order, potentially looking into next season as well. And I think there's just that really good opportunity for him to bat and then have that additional medium pace option with the ball. So for me, Liam Scott, once he is released in the game and you can get your hands on a card, for me, he is the young gun, potentially of the tournament as well. I'm just going to put that out there, that if we see him get some game time, he could be Rookie of the Year.
Ooh.
Alrighty, that leads us into the big fade, and I love this here. I don't often get to talk smack about players, but I'm loving this. So, Haz, mate, again, as the newbie, you're going to talk some rubbish about the one and only Alex Ross. Why are you fading him this season?
I hate to do this to an ex-Brisbane Heat player, of course, but I don't love Alex Ross this season. He averaged 34.6 GDS points last year. Even though he's proven himself to be normally a pretty reliable mid-order anchor in previous years, I think, we've talked about the strikers' strength and batting lineup that could significantly limit some of those opportunities that he could be getting in games. and as you literally just said, deal with the potential emergence of Liam Scott. We didn't have him in our predicted 11, but with Liam Scott in that 11, someone potentially has to make way. Alex Ross could be that person. So with Sanger and Harvey also coming into the side, there's heavy competition for those middle order spots. With his lack of versatility, Ross's fantasy floor and ceiling are extremely low for both of them. And unless injuries open up, I just don't see him scoring enough or having enough time at the crease to score enough points. So he is definitely my fade this season.
Yeah, I think you nailed that on the head. Yeah, I'll definitely be fading Rossi for sure. I don't need another sweeper in my team. Alrighty, Stu, you've got the big one, mate. This MVP, it's an obvious choice, but give us all the stats that support why Matty Short is your man.
Yeah, it is an obvious one, and probably a big reason why that man, Alex Ross, may not see too much time at the crease. We want Matty Short out there for as long as possible. Look, he's a skipper of the side. He burst onto the scene a few seasons ago with his brutal hitting at the top of that order. Look, but he's since added some really skillful bowling and some handy slips catching to his repertoire as well. And we know that those extra catches and a couple of handy wickets are just absolute fantasy gold. He topped the averages for all-rounders last season with 75 GDS points, and that was after a massive 80 in 2023. Look, he's no guarantee to bowl those 3 or 4 overs that a lot of all-rounders do get every match, particularly if the strikers opt for multiple spin bowlers, which they have done in the past. But look, he just got that knack of taking key wickets at the top of an innings, and all of those extra points are just bonus because you're probably going to rely on a lot of fantasy points coming off his bat. Of late, he hasn't been in tremendous form with the stick for the Aussies. He played against India and New Zealand, and he only passed 50 just once across 8 T20 and ODI matches. But look, hopefully the Aus cricket season is where he finds a bit of form, and he takes on, no disrespect to any of the bowlers over here, but they're not as dominant as those Indian or New Zealand lineup. So go get your hands on a Matty Short card right now, because he's going to win matches for them off his bat alone, but he could be the leading point scorer of the entire tournament if he gets those handy 2 or 3 wickets each match as well.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I'm going to make sure that I take a screen grab there, because I think you just said something nice about the New Zealand cricket team. So I think we need to make sure that we get that and we put that up on all our socials. Thanks for that, mate. After our drumming last night against West Indies. Look, I love Matty Short, but you're right. He hasn't had a great preseason, and I guess that's tough when you're coming out to bat at 7. But it probably shows the depth of the Australian team as well, where you've got someone like Matty Short coming out batting 7. But yeah, definitely looking at getting Matty Short. I think he's just going to have a down year, and he just picks himself up and has a crack and scores plenty of points. So you definitely get him into your side. Look, that's our fade, young gun, and MVP, as well as our must-haves. So make sure you jump onto the marketplace and find those. Make sure you rip some packs and get involved with the strikers this season. Don't forget as well, as I said, make sure you check out the textbook once it is released. It'll give you all of the updates regarding teams, the squads, as well as their matchups and who to target and when to target across this. But without further ado, as you mentioned at the top of the show, we have an exciting pack opening game. And if you were with us last season, you will know exactly what this is like. We're going to open a 3-player rare pack. And if any strikers are pulled, those cards are going into the giveaway pool. For you to be able to enter the giveaway pool, you will have a chance at winning all or any of those cards. You just need to subscribe to the FantasyBros YouTube channel. Once you do that, you need to like the video and you need to comment who your young gun, fade, and MVP strikers players are for the 25-26 season. It is that simple. You do that and you can go into the draw to win some cards. Alrighty, let's jump on. Mate, this is the first time you get to see a pack opening. Unreal. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to have our rare pack, 3-player rare pack. Let's hope for some strikers. A couple of diamonds. Here we go. All right, kicking us off, we have a gold Jordan Silk, not what we're looking for. We have Harris Ralph and a new addition to BBL, or a returning addition to BBL. And we have Ollie Davis there. Unfortunately, no strikers this time, but there'll be plenty more opportunities to add to that player pool, especially with, as I said, some all-star packs dropping very soon.
I think the biggest thing is at least we didn't get an Alex Ross. So that's a good thing.
That is a good thing, mate. That is very good. I agree. Alrighty, that is it. That is our first show done and dusted. Make sure that you continue following along. We will have a team preview or a couple of team previews dropping every Friday on YouTube, as well as on Apple and Spotify if you are traveling and want to listen to our wonderful voices. Remember, if you are a new user still looking to sign up, there is plenty of time to get involved. Preseason is just heating up. When you are registering, make sure you use that promo code SUMMER. You get a free 3-player common pack, and you can get 9 cards, as well as all the bronze packs that you get on top of that. You'll be able to run either a contender, starter, and or classic side to get started. To be unreal. Don't forget as well, we'll be dropping that first ever BBL 15 textbook, your guide to everything Game Day Squad Aus Cricket, very soon, and it will be free. So make sure that you get around that as well. Keep an eye on all of our socials. Well done, mate. You got through your first show. As always, Stu, it's been a pleasure. We will catch up soon where we're going to preview the Brisbane Heat. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, mate.
See you, boys.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode by the Fantasy Bros. If you want to show your support, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this show on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Also, make sure you check us out on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search @FantasyBros AU.